Hello guys, this is Joyce from Enjoy Scrappin' 2. Today I'm going to be talking about this stamp set, Moon Lake. This is one of the new Stampin' Up! Stamp sets that's in the Occasions catalog. And I wanted to kind of go over how you can use this. This stamp set, it has so much possibilities that you can do, and the different techniques that you can achieve, and the different looks that you can get with just one stamp set. These have so much details in each of these stamps that you don't really have to do much to create a lovely scenery for your focal image. So I have some samples here. I'm going to show you these first, and then I'll kind of go over how you can use it. So here is one. So this again is, I just stamped it out using some archival, this is a brown ink, so it kind of looks more subdued than this ink right here. So this is black, and so I stamped it out, and then I use my Stampin' Up! Watercolors and a blender pen, and then kind of blended this out to make this scenery. This is not a watercolor paper. I just used a regular paper because I didn't have to do too much blending to achieve this type of a look. So since this is not a watercolor paper, obviously you can't really soak it a lot, because otherwise it'll the paper will peel. And then I have this one as well. This one is also not a watercolor paper, and you can do these techniques with watercolor paper if you want, and you can add more colors to create that depth. This, however, was created, I didn't even color this. I used my watercolor crayons, and I put it on the stamp, and then with different colors, and I just stamped it out, and that's basically what that is. So it created this beautiful colors without even having to really color. So this again right here is another, I use my watercolor crayons and a little bit of water and a paintbrush, and to kind of drag some of the colors out to achieve this look. So here are some samples that you can create. Of course, you can do use watercolor paper, like I said, and then really put in your watercolors to create this beautiful scenery. Okay, so I'm going to kind of show you what the stamp actually look like stamped out. Okay, and I will use black ink, so then you can see how they look. So again, I'm tapping, bringing my ink pad to the stamp, and then I'm going to stamp it out. Look at that, it's beautiful. Let me bring you in a little bit closer. So that's how it looks. It's already pretty. So you can just add a touch of color, and it'll be a beautiful look. So again, the next one, again, you can see here I was playing around. Not all of them turned out well, so you kind of have to play around with it. Okay, and this I will stamp it on a piece of paper. I know I have two stamps, one on each side. So it looks like that. Okay, so this right here is not a watercolor paper, but I'll show you how you can use either your watercolor markers. You can use alcohol markers. Of course, if you're going to use alcohol markers, you want to use a memento or inks that don't bleed. And you can use your watercolor pencils. You can use your ink pads. You can use the distress ink. There's a lot of different options. So what I did for this would be, so basically you can just color it in. I'm just putting some dots because I don't want to completely color the entire thing. Okay, you can do it that way, or you can use a block, and then you can scribble some out, and you can color it in this way. See, because you're not adding too much water, even though it's not a watercolor paper, it'll be fine. So this color right here I'm using is Old Olive. And it's really fast. You can color it. Doesn't have to be perfect because the image itself is kind of like a sketchy look anyway. Okay, you see I didn't color all of it because I'm gonna add, actually that was not Old Olive, it was Always Artichoke. So this is the Old Olive, a little bit lighter. Okay, and then I'm going to pick that up again, and picking it up like so, and then color in the rest. You can do this, like I said, with watercolor markers. If you don't have markers, you can use your ink pads. You can actually stamp it onto the rubber itself, and then put the different color markers on it, and then stamp it. That's another way you can achieve. So look, so I just went ahead like that. Okay, and then I will maybe put some grass areas over here. Okay, and then I'm going to grab my, this is chocolate chip, and you can go directly to the tree if you want, and then kind of bring it out a little bit, circular motion. And because this is not a watercolor paper, it's not gonna really blend as well as if you were to use watercolor paper. If you were to use watercolor paper, it would blend beautifully. And then again for the boat, I'm using the same color. So you don't have to have a lot of color palette here. And then some maybe rocks in the ground. See how fast it is? And then you can create more in details how you want that. Okay, and then let's do some, this is, okay, I don't have a soft sky. I don't know if this is a Marina Mist. Really light. I mean, I have the soft sky, but I gotta grab it. And then just give some water here. Like that. And there you go. Look how easy that was. So easy. Okay. And then you can put cardstocks, and then however way you want to design. And that's it. And let me show you how to stamp this with the marker. And then you want to huff on it. And then I'm going to there, look at that. That's just pretty, just as is. But you can always, of course, use either your blender pen or whatnot, and then add some more color if you like, or drag some of the color out. And then color in the entire thing if you want to. Okay? So, for something like this or this, that I use a watercolor crayons, I'll be doing a separate video. I'll be doing a separate video on like watercolor crayons and how to use it, or how I use it, and other water medias as well. So this is it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Thanks. Bye. There. Okay? Thank you. Bye.